Hello, people. Hello, world. Hello, souls. My spirit says hello to your spirit. Yeah. I want to make this video live because, yeah, I've been a Facebook user for 10 years or something. And I love Facebook. I've been a spiritual guide for 18 years. I love God. I don't like religion. I respect it, but I can't accept it. And like I wrote in my introduction of this live video, I want to tell you all I've been in a lot of groups, sharing the truth, sharing my intuitions, guiding me, God speaking through me through music and slogans. And I've been kicked out of so many groups, you can't believe. And that only tells me that groups called light workers or whatever, if they write the name of the group in big letters, that is manipulating not people living in the light, love of God, but actually controlled by demons. They're seeking attention and they want to control the truth. And for me, oh man, it makes me so sad because I'm a very humble person. I have been through hell the first 30 years of my life. My own self created hell. I want to point out. I have to get something to drink. Hang on. I have a lot of educations. I'm an educated drug counselor, shrink, and masseuse, and I've been working with humans for a long time. And I actually know for a fact that if you want to heal yourself, you have to heal yourself, your body, your mental state, and your physics. You cannot just heal one of the things. You need to heal everything. You have to understand that you have to go from listening to your ego to listening to your heart. You have to understand that if you're controlled by what you need, all your needs, it will just bring you more pain. Actually, when people ask me, what do you miss? What do you need? I always tell people, what I miss, money can't buy. And that is true. I don't need anything money can buy. I don't miss anything money can buy. And like I told so many people before, I'm no friend of this world. And when I say I'm no friend of this world, I mean of this world where the earth is drowning in all this capitalism, in this all egoism, in this all I don't give a shit person. In this world where it's so destructive and they use people, and then it's Big Rock, and then it's Trump, and then it's Hitler, and then it's Stalin, and then it has been so horrible here on earth the last many years, 10,000 years, 15,000 years. And for me, it's very simple. After I've been walking in the light and I search for the truth and I let myself be guided by God, it is Satan working against God. It is demons trying to shut down the light. And you have to understand, I don't like religion. I love God. I love the concept that there is something between heaven and earth that can guide you. I love that God's grace is a real thing. It is something that you can actually ask for. It is something that you can be guided by. It is something that, hey Henrik, welcome. Thank you for joining me. One of my friends who works at a holistic school. I want to work there too someday, Henrik. Maybe you'll tell your co-workers that I'm an okay guy. But you'll only find that out when you actually meet me and try to talk to me. I'm a person that lives in the truth, share the truth, search for the truth, being guided by God's grace and being guided by my dreams and my inner voice. My inner voice, I believe truthfully that it is my spirit being guided by God. It is. Some people say they can hear God's voice, but I don't think I can hear God's voice. I'm not that great or not that powerful, but I'm pretty sure that my fully developed spirit is trying to guide me through my life. And it guides me through my life through dreams, through synchronizations, through pictures, through whom you should meet, whom you should talk to. In my world, what kind of music I make, which posts I make. To be intuitive guided for me is to receive the truth in a split second and not be scared of that truth. Many of the people I know, they actually tell me that I'm too scared when I hear something, I'm too scared to actually listen. And I tell them, yeah, the more you don't listen to your inner voice, the less it'll talk to you. God is here, yeah. God is everywhere. God is around you. God is inside you. God is you. God is me. God is plants. God is animals. God is everything loving, caring, sharing, ethic, and moral. God is not all that manipulating, I want to make money off, I want to use you. All that, there is no God there. For me, I have read the Bible, the Quran, Dødhavsrulleren, I don't know what the English word is for that. I have read all the holy scripts just to try to figure out why the whole world is fighting about God. And what I figured out after many years with the holy book in my hand, what I figured out was that every religion, every country, they wanted to say that my God is better than your God. And in my opinion, there's only one God. There is only one God, but he, she, it has a lot of names. And we salute God different ways in different countries. In Denmark, for example, we have phobia of God. The churches here are talking about closing, and there was a couple of years ago, no, I think it was 10, 12 years ago, I had this message from God saying to me that you should actually go around and visit all the churches in Denmark, and you should ask all the priests 3 questions. And just to tell you, Kurt, I cannot sit here and let me be guided intuitive by God and by the things I should say and concentrate on the things happening on the screen. So I cannot respond to what you say because that will actually take me out of my concentration and out of my guidance. So I'm sorry I'm not responding to you, but that's why. So and I'm the kind of person, after I gave up my free will and I said, you will have not mine. Whatever comes to me in my dreams, in my synchronizations, in my thoughts, I do. I listen to it 100%. And after I've been listening to that guidance, my life has changed from bad to better, to good, to wonderful, to being happy. It has opened me up, it has freed me, it has guided me. And since it asked me to go and visit all the churches in Denmark, I actually used 1.5 years traveling around in all the churches here in Denmark just to ask these priests 3 simple questions. And the 3 questions were, what is God's grace? How do you invite God's grace into your life? What is soul food? Those 3 questions, I asked those priests. And you know what? Not one priest in Denmark could answer that. They couldn't answer what God's grace was. They couldn't answer how they invited into your life, and they couldn't answer what soul food was. And I looked at them and I said, you know what? You are, I don't know what the English word is, a Pharisee. You're a hypocrite because you have educated yourself to being a priest. You have read the Holy Book, and you're standing here every Sunday talking about politics, about your wife, about your children, about the news, about everything else but about God. And you know what? You don't understand that your churches are empty. You have to understand people, they come to the church because they want to know God. And I actually bet that people that haven't felt God's grace, they come here to actually find some solutions to how to actually invite it into their lives. They come to hear about what soul food is so they can start feeling better. And after that 1.5 years, when none of these priests actually could answer that, I just realized that, okay, we have focused in Denmark for God. And the reason is, and I remember when I went around and I started to ask people after the church how they felt this church was, and they said they got more confused than when they came. And I actually understand them, because you don't find God by listening to a man who's scared of having a God experience. And the experience with God is holy, is sacred, is something between you and God. It is, you can share it, yes, that is what I'm doing. I'm sharing my sacred experiences. But if you want to stand in a church and try to help people find God, you should actually share those experiences, your sacred experiences with God. But if you don't have any of them, you cannot share it. That's my point exactly. And in the last couple of years, 4 or 5 years, I started to ask, when I go to different churches, and I ask the priest after the sermon, what does rebirth means? And they start to talk about a lot of things, and I tell them, you know what, and I stop them in their mumbling, and I say, you know what, it is just another word for reincarnation. And there's something high, what's it called, pastor, or the bishops here in Denmark tell the priests when they start the education, when they start working in the churches, that they should not believe in reincarnation. It's forbidden. This is Satan again fighting against God, because reincarnation is written in the Holy Bible so many places. Your soul, no, your spirit has been on earth before, or another planet, or another place before. You have been here before, and you're gonna come again when you die. Our spirits is forever. I find it very interesting when I talk to people and they say they only have one life. And yeah, exactly. Now I just saw what you wrote, Kurtz. I normally say that what is it? Religion is when God leaves the church, because God is not in any churches. But again, I want to talk about, I started a little about in the start about that, why maybe you see me in some groups and you don't see me anymore, and then you see a post and then it's deleted. And this is just admins not being light workers, not being working for God, that's trying to controlling the truth. Because the more truth that will appear in the world, the more people would realize what they need to change to actually start feeling happy, what they need to put behind them, and what they need to attack, and what they need to work with, and which way they need to go. Until that day happens, you will actually start being happy. And you know what? The recipe for happiness is very, very simple. You just have to accept whatever falls into your lap. If you break your leg, there's a reason for that. If you meet somebody you need to talk with, there's a reason for that. If you meet them again, there's a reason for that. God is trying to synchronize every person's life here on earth. And if you actually listen to that synchronization in pictures, in numbers, in dreams, in in so many things, self-realizations, you will actually start to feel good. If you start thinking about what your ethic and moral are in your life, what you think is right and what you think is wrong. You know, for example, stealing. You know very well if it's yours or if it's not yours. And it's both on the internet, what you copy and paste, pictures and scripts. If it's not yours, it's not yours, you're stealing. And either you have a conscience or you don't. That is very, very simple. Either you have a conscience or you don't. There's nothing that's called having a little conscience or having a lot of conscience. There's nothing called like that. Nothing. And to be consciousness about having a conscience is really, really important. Kurt, could you please stop asking me a lot of questions? Because you are, first of all, the only one in here. And second of all, I have to remember when I'm sitting and making this live conversation, it's going to be on my page. And I don't want to make a live video where I'm sitting talking with you only. You are more than welcome to contact me on Skype or Facebook call or email or whatever you want to have a conversation. You're more than welcome to do that. But right now I'm trying here to pour out my heart. I'm trying to plant a seed in people's hearts. And I feel love all the time. Love is what I'm walking around in. Paradise on earth is happening. Paradise on earth is here. It's how you look at it. In the Bible it says paradise on earth is very near and the end is near. And I'm just like, no, the end is now. It is very horrible now and it will get more horrible. The only thing I can say to you, and I'm gonna ignore you from now on, Kurt, because you're being provocative. So I'm gonna ignore you, and you know what I mean. So Godspeed, and I forgive you. To start feeling better about yourself, I can only talk for myself. I started by writing this letter. I don't love myself when. This is 20 years ago. I don't love myself when. And I wrote down all the things. When I bite my nails, when I lie, when I steal, when I smoke weed, when I use people, when I put people down because I'm suffering from low self-esteem. I think there was about 48 different things I didn't like about myself. So I started changing the things one by one. And slowly I started to love myself. I figured out that trying to make people happy or trying to fit in or trying to get people to approve of me, trying to get the accept, it don't work. It don't work. Trust me, it don't work. If I want love, I have to start loving myself. If I want respect, I have to respect myself. If I want acceptance, I have to accept myself. So it all starts by yourself. And that is why one of my posts is about why the time alone is so important. Because the time alone is where you use the time to find yourself. Where you actually listen to your heart. And you realize that being controlled by your ego doesn't make you feel better. It's only going to make you more stressed. And nobody can tell you how you should feel, how you should act, which way you should go, what you should make money on, and so on and so on. But especially that when people say, how can you help me? How they say, let's make some big bucks or something like that. I don't like money. Money is something right now in these days, 2016, we need to survive. But within a couple of 100 years, money are going to disappear. In my opinion, Satan created money to confuse people because money is not needed. It's just like electricity. Tesla made everybody aware of that energy is free. So eventually energy is going to be free. We're not going to pay for electricity anymore. But right now we have so many people around the world that want to make money off the people who are not so smart. And yeah, half a minute break. I wanted to make this video because I'm really sad that one group after another deletes my posts, kick me out of the group. And I remember once I was reading the Bible where it says, I can't remember where, it says that Satan, Lucifer, was kicked out of heaven. And when he was kicked out of heaven, he took 1/3 of the angels with him. And I think the Bible is a great story, and I think there's a lot of truth in it, but I also think there's a lot of maybe even lies in it to confuse us. But and it changed from the first Bible to the Bible we have today. The words have changed. But those 1/3 of the angels are why the world is so fucked up. Sorry for using that word. This is why it's so dark here. This is why there's so much violence. This is why there's so much criticism. This is one thing that I'm going to make a big post of soon is, you know, this where people, they are sitting and putting people down. I just made a post earlier where I was misspelling one word, and there were so many people attacking me for spelling wrong. And I'm just like, oh man, grow up. If you need to attack me for spelling a word wrong, you're not divine. You have a low self-esteem and you need somebody to pick on so you can feel better about yourself. Actually, you only show that you're a coward and you'll attract everything that you don't need. These things that are so visible for me will become truth for you when you invite it in. These things that I'm not addicted to and I'm not controlled by is controlling the world right now. And Satan is real, trust me. Satan is real. Satan is not a person sitting down in hell with some horns and so on, but Satan is something that you create in your life by being the person you are. And you poison other people and you drag people down and you suck their energy and so on. You should watch the movie The Celestine Prophecy and The Secret of the Heart, Power of the Heart, and The Secret. Those movies would actually tell you that there is a hell, but the hell is man-made. But when I say Satan, Lucifer, that is an angel that God threw out of heaven that is working here on earth. And he is the one that is working against God. And this is why there are so many groups called a lot of different things. And about being divine and being light workers and about being sacred and blah, 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 blah. But they are just the opposite. They are not divine, they are not sacred, and they're not working for God. Because Lucifer's biggest quest here on earth is to shut down the light, is to make sure that nobody comes into the light, nobody finds peace on earth, nobody that paradise on earth is not going to happen. And another thing I wrote in the Bible that I actually believe too, once Lucifer has been slain, he is going to be put in jail for 5,000 years, and that is years in God. So 1 year, now what is it? One day for God is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years for God, 1 day for us. So Satan is going to be gone for a long time. Yeah. I have a lot of clients on Skype that find me through my YouTube channel, through my Vimeo channel, through my Pinterest channel, through my Facebook post, through all the places on my homepage. They contact me and they say they want to talk to me, and normally I have a client 2 or 3 times, and then it's all up to them to actually water the seed that I planted in their heart. I let people talk for about 45 minutes, and then I say to them, I hear you say, and then I help them to realize what they actually need to change. Because to change yourself and to start attract what you actually need is very, very simple. You just have to stop doing what makes you feel bad. And being in the nature and doing things that you love, and realizing that you don't control anything, and you have to be humble, you have to be forgiving towards everybody. When you realize all those things that Jesus talked about and you start to implement that into your life, you'll actually start to feel better. When you realize taking drugs is no use, when you realize smoking cigarette, it's no use. It is when you want to heal, you have to heal your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. And that is a big job. Trust me, that is a big job. You cannot just heal your physical body or your mental state, or you have to heal all those things together. And yeah. Intuition is getting the truth from God in a split second and not be scared of it. For example, I've been praying God to help me make a number that will go straight into people's hearts. And you know what? 2 times in the last 14 days, I have woken up with the melody and with the start of a song in my head, and I should have gotten up, taken my guitar, and started to play. But the last 2 times, I've just been so tired, and I just turned around and fall asleep again. And you know, when you pray for an answer, you will get it. When you ask God for help, He will help you. But you know you have to be ready to get your answer. Either you get it in a dream, or you get it in some synchronizations in your life, or you get it somebody telling you something, or you get it in divine insights, or you get it when I have clients. I have lived in Copenhagen, and I have clients where I meet them in the nature. And when I'm sitting there talking with the clients, they often tell me that it's like I'm speaking with 2 people. And I'm just like, yeah, I know what you mean. And I can explain why you feel that, because I'm being guided by God while I speak to you. I'm praying to God to guide my words, to guide my thoughts, to guide the things that comes out my mouth. So sometimes it's not even me speaking. And when for example, I've made a number where it is intuitive made, I'm so surprised by the music that I make, because it's actually not me making it. It is God guiding me. So the best music, in my opinion, has been the intuitive made music. And all you have to do is just Google my name, Sean Riget, and you'll find it on YouTube, and you can listen to it all you want. And like I wrote on my homepage, and if you go into my notes on Facebook, there is a note called important information about me. That note would actually explain more closely who I am, why I am, where I'm from, and where I'm headed. And Kurt, if you say namaste, you're a Buddhist. A Buddhist doesn't believe in any God. So God forgive you. You should actually listen to what Dalai Lama says. He is not going to reincarnate again because he actually realized that there's only one way to heaven that goes through Jesus. So you don't have to look for me again. So many monks have come back after near-death experience and told about Satan and about hell and about heaven. So Dalai Lama has come up and said that there is a God and that he has been fooling people for about 2,000 years. And he even explains why it has been necessary to fool people. No, not 2,000 years, 10,000 years. Why it has been necessary to fool people with the religion called Buddhism. It was because the Christian and the Muslims were fighting so badly. And it is true, man. If you want to sit here and argue with me, you can just leave the live chat because I'm going to ignore you, like I said before. You are a provocator. And people that are going to watch this live video, they can see how you have been trying to provoke me all the way through this speak. And I've on purpose not looked at what you wrote, but now I just looked. I'm only speaking the truth. And Dalai Lama told that he's not going to reincarnate again. And you can actually Google it. Dalai Lama reincarnation no more. You can see a video where he actually says it. So don't argue the truth with me, man. God forgive you and Satan be gone. You have a demon inside of you. You won't try to control me right now, but you're not going to succeed. So Kurt Reeds, you are out. Take care, man. I had to push this man out of the group because he's not a light worker either. He's not. He's just trying to control things, and yeah. I've been an admin in a lot of chat rooms, virtual walkie-talkie and Cello and so on, and it's many years ago. And I was so compelled by what I actually heard that there were so many youngsters coming up in these chat rooms in the need of talk with other people because they're feeling lonely. And these were really young people. And I wrote to some of the people who had this, was controlling the virtual walkie-talkie and the cellular, that if they needed an admin, I would love to help them. And I became admins in both those programs. And I remember that I started recording some of the conversations because these were child molesters sitting and catching one child after another that was alone and the parents had gone to bed, and they were asking the most horrible things. And I had to show the world how crazy these chat programs were. I even wrote a letter to Barack Obama, but no answer. No wonder. But some of these people that I actually put onto YouTube, and the videos are still on YouTube. You can go Google on YouTube, search it for YouTube, virtual walkie-talkie or Cello, and you can hear some of the crazy videos. And you come and tell me that there's no demons in life or Satan in life, then you couldn't be more wrong. There are a lot of crazy people in the world. There are a lot of crazy people in the world. You know, that is the reason Bob Marley died. He was talking about love and how to share love and how to spread love and how to be humble and loving and caring, and he got killed by that. Natasha here in Denmark got killed for the same reason. So many people that wants to help the world to be a better place, they get killed because of what they talk about, what they believe in. So, but for me, I'm actually not scared of dying. You know, when I'm going to die, I'm just going to come back and I'm going to continue my work. Again, if you want to contact me, feel free. The time here in Denmark is around 2 a.m. and I'm sitting here getting real tired. And you're more than welcome. Contact me. my Skype nickname is on my Facebook, so you can actually start by writing to me. Just not just at me, because I want to say hello to people first and have a feeling of if this is true or not, if you're a true searcher. Because again, there's so many evil people that are wanting to shut down the light, and they try the most horrible way. But you know what? I see through all the lies. Like this guy, Kurt. He was not honest. He was a manipulative man. So, but I'm gonna end this video, and I'm gonna wish you all the best. You deserve the best. I hope you find what you miss, and I humbly thank you for watching the video. Maybe I can help you, maybe not, but you'll never know if you never give it a try. So take care, people. Be nice. Love, share, care. Shalom. Peace.